Should you draft Jerry Jeudy in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. Jerry Jeudy reminds me a lot of the TV show Parks and Rec because it takes a while to get good, but once it hits, it really starts to hit. Jerry Jeudy was one of the surprising stars of fantasy football last year. He finished as the wide receiver 11 after being a mid-late round pick, and he's currently going as the wide receiver 37 and the 68th overall player. Jeudy's season was peculiar. Jeudy's always been a guy who people really want to be something, who obviously has a lot of talent, but it's never really translated, mostly because he was banished to Denver for the first part of his career with Russell Wilson, and then he came to Cleveland, and for the first half of the season, it looked like it would be more of the same, just disappointing production at the hands of a bad quarterback. That was until Massage Watson popped his Achilles because karma's a bitch, and Jerry Jeudy got to play with the savior of fantasy receivers everywhere, Jameis Winston, because Jameis was who likes to chuck that thing like he's throwing it back on Saturday afternoon. So that turned Jeudy into an elite wide receiver. I mean, from week 1 to 7, 4.5 points per game. Not even 8. Like so far from a startable fantasy asset, it's not even funny. But as soon as Jameis took over week 8 from 15 when Jameis was starting, 21.1 points per game. That's wide receiver 1 production. And he finished as a borderline wide receiver 1 if you're playing 12-team league as the wide receiver 11. So Jeudy was elite last year, and he even showed that once he got established in the Browns offense and showed that he could be relied upon as a wide receiver 1, even when Jameis was taken out for being, Jameis and bad, and Bailey Zappi and Dorian Thompson-Robinson ended the season as the last 3 games of the season. Jeudy, he had a bit of a dud the first week with 4, but then 21.4, 12.3, 2 out of 3 games with bad quarterback play. Like, that's not bad for a guy who, at this point, is going as a fringe wide receiver 3. He's going the 37th overall player. Like, this is not a guy who you might be expecting to start in your lineup. And because of that, I think Judy's a decent flyer, but I struggle to take him over guys like Jalen Waddle, Travis Hunter, and, Tedero McMillan, just because I feel like a lot of Jerry Jeudy's value this year is hinged on Joe Flacco being the starting quarterback. Because the second Joe Flacco isn't the starting quarterback, we're looking at Kenny Pickett, who was never able to support George Pickens, or 2 rookies in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and that kind of just makes him Chris Olave, in my opinion, where a lot of talent, not great quarterback play, and I just don't know if that's something that's going to turn out well for him. So I'm giving Jeudy a grade of C- just because I think that the talent is really there, and the Browns are going to want to use him. The question is, how long does Flacco hold on to that job? Because if Flacco's the starter, I think Jeudy's pretty good. But if Flacco isn't the starter, I think things start to go downhill really quick.